Hi, everybody. We're diving in tonight on our hot topic, all about the power of two. So you're going to be drawing a chart like this on two different pieces of paper. They're identical. They have 4 columns. Remember, a column goes up and down, and 5 rows going across. What we're going to do is show you a comparison of what happens when we book one party from our parties versus when we book 2 parties from our parties. Because you would think, oh, what's the difference? I book 1 party, I'll book 2 parties, whatever. And this is all a very fine point, you would think, but in reality, it's not. And I want to show you how the numbers play out. This is a really cool exercise. So you're going to draw 2 of these, 4 columns and 5 rows. So there are a total of 20 squares. Okay, does that make sense? So when you're ready, just go ahead and look up. I'll give you another minute or so to get these things drawn. And then I have headings for you across the top of the first one, and I'll give them to you in just a minute. I have headings across the top in just a minute. Hi, Melissa. Welcome back. So we're drawing 2 charts. I don't know if you can see this or not. 4 columns down and 5 rows across. Or I'm sorry, I said it wrong. 4 columns and 5 rows. I'm not going to tell you what direction anything's going in, because that's up to you to figure out. 4 columns, 5 rows. And you'll need 2 of these, but the second one is a lot easier than the first one. I promise. Okay, when you're ready, just look up so I know that you're ready, so I can start showing you. Okay, so in the upper left-hand corner, it's going to say book 1 party is the upper left corner. The top of the second column says month 1. The top of the third column says month 2. And the upper right corner, which is the top of the 4th column, the last column says month 3. So across the top, it's going to say book 1 party, month 1, month 2, month 3. Okay, got that? You good? You can nod or shake your head. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, going down in column 1, we have more headings, if you can call it that. So remember, up in the upper left-hand corner, it says book 1 party. Right below that, write the words bookings to start. Bookings to start. The next one down, third one down, says postponements or postpone. 4th one down says parties held. And bottom left-hand field says new bookings. Okay, so that's what that looks like. So it's going to look like this. Book 1 party, bookings to start, postponements, parties held, and new bookings. Okay? Did you guys get that? So you've got your headings across, you've got your headings going down. All right. So in the very first row underneath month 1, let's pretend that you start with 8 bookings, 8 parties. So under month 1, write the number 8. So it's in this column, so it's in this field right here. I didn't fill in any of my headings, but you can see where that is. So we start with 8 bookings. Bookings to start under month 1 is 8. Now, typically when we have 8 bookings, statistically we might end up losing, we might lose 25%. So let's pretend that we lose 2 parties, either to cancellations or postponements. So the next number is 2. Postponements is 2 in month 1. Okay. Then you go down to the next one. Parties held, therefore, is 6, because you started with 8, lost 2, booking 6, or holding 6. Okay. And then when we book one party from each of those 6 parties, we now have 6 new bookings. So on the bottom, it now says a 6. This is what your numbers are now looking like. Okay, started with 8, lost 2, held 6, booked 6 more because we're booking one party from each party, right? Okay, so go up to the next column under month 2, carry over the 6. We have 6 bookings to start, right? Because we booked 6, so that's great. So we start with 6 bookings. Let's say postponements in month 2 is 2. So let's say we hold 4 parties in month 2. And we book one party from every party, which is great. So we end up with 4 new parties, right? So now we've completed the column from month 2. 6 bookings to start, 2 postponements, 4 parties held, and we got 4 new bookings. So that's great. Let's go up to month 3 and see what happens. We carry over the 4 bookings that we booked. So now we have 4 parties for month 3. We lose 1 because that's how life works, for later or for never. We hold 3 total, and we book 1 party from each party. So now we are down to 3 parties. We've booked 3 total, okay? So you're going to be able to say, well, yeah, but it kind of breaks down, and that's true, but I just want to show you generically how these numbers work. Now, go to your second sheet. Second sheet, remember, we've got 4 columns and 5 rows across. Karen, you can join in if you want to. We're doing the power of 2. So we have tables that look like this, 4 columns down, 5 rows across. And in this case, it's a little different. It's the same as the other table, except that it says book 2 parties instead of book 1 party. So fill in all of your headings. So going across the columns, first column heading is book 2 parties. Second column heading is month 1. Third column heading is month 2. Fourth column heading is month 3. Same as the one before, except it says book 2 parties. And going down the left-hand side, your headings are book 2 parties at each party, bookings to start, postponements, parties held, and new bookings, same as the other one. Okay.
Can I bother you for a second?
You got that? Okay. Any questions about what the heading the tables look like?
Nope.
Okay, great. All right. So let's start with our same example. So we've got 8 parties. Yay, you! That's amazing. Let's say you start with 8, and we lose 2 because that's life. We hold 6 parties. Instead of going in and booking 1 party, we've just booked 2 from each party. And that's what our simple duplicatable systems help us to do now with the way we do our parties, with our 5-part party presentation and the way we do our checkout. So number of parties held is 6. Number of new bookings, though, is now 12 because we booked 2 from each one. So at the top of month 2, we're keeping this very simplistic. At the top of month 2, write 12 bookings. So let's say we lose a quarter of them for one reason or another, and we lose 3. And so our parties held in month 2 is 9. And the new bookings would be 18. Now don't get scared, because I'm not suggesting that anybody should be doing this kind of business, ever. For any
In a month.
Ever, in a month, no. This, theoretically, this all gets spread out over many months, but just to keep it sort of orderly, we've encapsulated it into months. So at the bottom of month 2, now new bookings is 18. At the top of month 3, carryover bookings to start is 18. Don't do this, just so you know. This is how it looks. And then postponements and cancellations, let's pretend it's 5. Below that is parties held is 13. But you booked 2 parties from each one, and now you're at 26 new parties. So if we started with 8 parties in the beginning, book 1 party and book 2 parties, and we ended with either 3 parties or 26 parties, which one would you rather do? 26. I know. So suddenly we see the value in focusing on booking parties from parties, because that's the lifeblood of the business. Now, for those of us who want to grow a team, it's all about getting in front of those women so that we can see who really wants to do what we do and give it a whirl, right? But how do we keep finding more people? How do we keep
Parties.
growing their team? It's all from more and more parties. Booking parties from parties is the easiest way to do that. It's a whole lot easier than having to go through your Rolodex and see who else wants to party, right? So that's what I wanted to talk about tonight, was to illuminate all of our brains and to remind us of one of the key focuses when we go to do a party is booking even more parties. That's where our income comes from. That's where our team members come from. So what questions or ahas do you have from that? Shanna Campbell got really good at booking 2 parties from every party.
It makes sense.
Yeah. It does. It actually does make sense. And it's cool because it allows for cancellations and postponements, which do happen too. And that's okay.
I'm sure a lot.
Yeah, sure. That's normal. And
It
that's
does
okay.
happen, but a lot of times too, that if one of the things that keeps the party from not canceling, I would say, is right from the beginning is to, you're going to get these in your kit, and I will give you a couple more tomorrow. It's we have a hostess brochure, and getting them to fill in exactly what the hostess wants to get as some of her key pieces to keep the excitement up, and it's a part of the host coaching too, where we also try. I think we do a really great job also keeping them excited. If we follow the steps that the company gives us, and reminding them some of the key things, like we get our no's first, and a lot of times people who are actually coming will actually RSVP the day before.
Yeah.
Which and
sometimes they don't RSVP at all.
right. Sometimes they might not RSVP at all, but they'll just show up.
Yeah.
Which is rude. Who does that?
Well, that's just how it is now,
It's
unfortunately.
awesome. What
Yeah.
are you talking about?
It just is what it is.
It is what it is. But I mean, one of the basic examples I always think, like, even just like I'm doing this thing tomorrow night, and I've had 3 people that said to me, like, literally got back to me today, I can't come, and one says, I'm coming and bringing a friend. I mean, like,
Yeah, that's great.
So
Yeah.
it is. And I think the key to that then, I mean, really, when you break it down, it's just keeping and setting the expectations and keeping their excitement. And we do that. Who doesn't want free bling?
I know I do. I love my free bling. Any ahas or anything else about that one? People's heads kind of pop off on that. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.